Listen to those frogs, guys. Sounds like a car alarm. Very loud. Pretty cool. Summer is coming, guys. Summer is coming. Lockdown will be over soon. Alright guys, so I just wanted to show you how I'm carrying my bear defense gear. Okay, I got my chest holster here, which you guys may have seen me wear before. And in New York state law, you can't open carry. Even if you have a permit to carry, it has to be concealed. And obviously I'm in the middle of nowhere, but I'm on a public hiking trail, or snowmobile trail. Probably won't run into anyone, but you never know. Could be a forest ranger or somebody, whatever. So I have my pistol on my chest holster here, my 44 mag, all right, on this Alaris Tactical Kydex holster, and I have it concealed with my wool sweater, so I can quickly. It's concealed now. My pistol is by law, by New York state law, it's concealed. All right, you don't know that I have it, but if I need to, I can quickly just brush my pistol, I can brush my shirt aside. If let's say a bear pops out, I can brush my shirt aside here and draw the weapon out. Okay, it's a 44 Magnum. I've showed you guys this before. All right, and I'll show you the cartridges that I'm using in case you guys don't know. What I carry is I have a speed loader pouch on my left side, and I have 2 reloads. All right, 12 more rounds. These are 305 grain hard cast lead Underwood ammo. You see the flat, you see how the bullets are flat on the front? They're totally flat, okay? There's no points on them. It's totally flat, and the reason why is you want to smash into the, you want to be able to smash through bones and stuff like that on a bear, and that flat front really helps to do that. It's like a hammer. So that's kind of what you want, all right? And the hard cast lead helps it penetrate deep. And I keep 2 reloads on the side. I don't think I would ever need it against a bear, but you never know. If you miss a couple of shots, if you're startled and the bear comes out of nowhere, you may miss your first 2-3 shots, and then you don't want to just only have like 1 cylinder, so you want to have a couple backup rounds, because it's one thing to shoot at a stationary target, and it's another thing to shoot at a an animal, a 500-pound animal that's trying to kill you. So you may miss your first couple of shots, so that's why you want to have plenty of reloads. All right, so just wanted to show you guys that, and keep you posted on the hike here. Just wanted to show you how dark the woods are, and why you need to carry a backup light. All right, anytime you're in the woods hunting or hiking, you always want to have a backup light source, okay? Because if your main flashlight shuts down, it's going to be pitch black, just like now. All right, you won't be able to see anything, so you don't want to be in the woods without a backup light source. All right, whether it's another flashlight, or you should always have some glow sticks on you, okay? What I like to do is I like to keep some glow sticks, and I keep 2 backup flashlights, so I have 3 flashlights total. All right, so if my main flashlight fails, I have 2 more that I can go to, and then also I have glow sticks. Glow sticks are great because they don't use batteries, but definitely have multiple flashlights, guys, okay? And keep some spare batteries as well, because if you're in a bug out situation, or if you're in the woods, hiking or hunting, and your flashlight goes out, you're gonna freak out, especially if you're in an area where there's predators like bears or coyotes or wolves, or people. This flashlight gives you a huge advantage, all right, against animals, because you could see their eyes lighting up from the flashlight. So this powerful 1000 lumen tactical light here, if I saw any bears coming at me, I could see their eyes light up in the distance, and I can get myself ready, get my pistol ready, or my knife, or whatever weapon I have, But if it's pitch black like this, you have no chance, you know. And there have been predatory attacks by black bears, guys. A lot of people say that, you know, black bears, you know, they're harmless, and coyotes are harmless, but there have been predatory attacks by bears, okay? You know, there was one in New Jersey, actually, not, you know, probably about 2 to 3 hours away from where I am now, in northwestern New Jersey. A black bear stalked and killed a 26-year-old hiker. He actually filmed it with his camera as it was stalking him on the trail, and then it ended up killing him and eating him, partially consuming him. It was actually stalking a group of hikers, and they split up, which is the stupidest thing to do. You know, if a bear's trying to attack you, you never split up. You know, you stay together. All right, strength in numbers, you know. And the bear, they split up and they went in different directions, and the bear hunted down and killed one of them. All right, so you know, you always want to have multiple weapons. You want to have a knife on you in case your pistol fails, or you can't get to your pistol, or if you run out of ammo. You always want to have a backup blade on you. All right, a big survival knife can make a huge difference against a bear. If the bear lunges on you and you stab it, you know, with a 6 or 7 inch blade, you know, that bear's going to feel that, you know, and you're not going to walk away unscathed. You're going to get scratched and you may get bitten, but you're going to do damage to the bear, and that's the most important thing, is to do damage to the bear. But always have backup lights, always have backup weapons. You know, like I said, pistol, and then have a knife on the side, a large knife, 6-inch blade. So if a bear jumps on you, you can stab it and get it off of you. And there's also been predatory attacks of coyotes as well. There was a girl in Canada, in Newfoundland, I think it was. She was hiking on a trail, and two coyotes stalked her and killed her. She was, I think, 19 years old. She was a musician in Canada, and you know, she was stalked and killed by the coyotes. Okay, so you know, coyotes can be dangerous as well. You know, especially in the eastern. You know, eastern coyotes can be quite large. Okay, they can get up to some pretty big sizes. You know, like especially here in upstate New York, the coyotes get up to like 70 or 80 pounds sometimes. They can get quite large, you know, so, you know, don't underestimate coyotes, especially because coyotes travel in large packs, so they can really outnumber you. You know, if there's like 10 or 20 coyotes surrounding you, even a pack of coyotes can drive away a big black bear. So if a pack of coyotes can drive away a black bear, what do you think they're going to do to a human being? You know, so, and there's actually a car over here in the parking lot, but there's nobody there. I hope they're okay. I hope they're not, you know, in danger. You know, they should have been back by now, you know, from their hike. So I don't know where they are. Hopefully they're okay. There's nobody in the car. As you can see, there's a trail over here, and they haven't returned yet. So, but all right, so heed my warnings, guys. If you're out playing in the woods or bushcrafting, you know, make sure you have your backup knife. Make sure you have multiple flashlights. Glow sticks are good. There's a bird still out right now. That's cool. You know, make sure you have multiple flashlights, glow sticks, backup knife, plenty of ammo, all right, because you never know what kind of trouble you'll run into on the trail when you have to defend yourself. You may even have to defend yourself against people too. So what's going on, guys? It's New York Prepper here, just doing a little hike during this pandemic that we're in, and wanted to just show you guys some of the beautiful scenery here in upstate New York. I'm in the Catskill Mountains right now. So I wanted to just show you guys some of the beauty here and the secludedness. Very, very scenic area here. Okay. Probably going to do a little bit of scouting to see if there's any good hunting spots, and you know, check some old hunting spots of mine and see if there's any deer or bear around the area, but this is what the terrain looks like here in you know, the southeastern part of New York State, and just wanted to show you the scenery. So stick around and I'll show you some more. All right, got some turkeys here, guys. Look at the turkeys. Look at the little turkey in the woods there. Hey buddy. Wow, let's roll the window down. Little turkey, gobble gobble. Little turkey there. There's another one. Hold on, let me zoom it in. There's another turkey, guys. See the turkey? Turkey hunting season starts soon, actually. It's pretty cool. Oh, there's more in the back. Say something. Hey, buddy. It's so cool. I'm not even scared. It's like a zoo. Look, she's looking at you. It's so cool. Should we just leave, or? Oh, scared her. Oops. Let's not flush her too much. Bye. Bye-bye. Driving through the Catskill Mountains, guys. Get some of this scenery here. I'll show you guys some of the scenery. And we're actually almost near the heart of the Catskill Mountains. Slide Mountain is the biggest mountain in the Catskills. It's 4,200 feet, which for a lot of people that's not that high, but for East Coast people, 4,000 feet is actually pretty high for an East Coast mountain. So we're close to that area, and I'll get some footage of that. But it's very, very secluded area here. A lot of state forests and wilderness areas up here. So just wanted to show you guys the scenery. Look at these big puffy clouds here. Sun coming out. Really, really quiet here, guys. We're at an undisclosed mountaintop here in the Catskills. Just filming the scenery for you guys so you can see how beautiful it is here. And this is one of my potential bug out areas. You know, one of my potential bug out areas. Very secluded, very low population here. Very good area to bug out to. Hunting is decent here. There's not a huge population of deer, and you know, because of the terrain. It's a little bit too cold for a heavy or for a high density deer population. The winters are kind of strong here, but in certain areas like over here where this grassy field is, there will be a higher population of deer, but in some of the more secluded areas there's less deer. But you know, there's decent hunting here. I've hunted these mountains for a long time, so I know where the deer are and I know how to find them. If I had to find them, I could easily do so. So alright, guys. Road actually washed out here during Hurricane Irene in 2011. Hurricane Irene decimated the Catskills because of the rainfall was so strong, and a lot of roads got washed out, especially roads that were next to roads that were next to rivers, the rivers got so strong and they eroded away the roadways, and there was roads that were totally washed out, and you couldn't pass through for months until they rebuilt the roads. Some of them were actually quite big, big roads, main roads that were totally just washed out because of the heavy rainfall. And that's something that you guys need to consider if you get yourself a bug out property in a very secluded area like this. You have to consider the weather as a potential threat here. All right, because if you're bugging out in this area and let's say there's a really bad snowstorm and the roads are impassable, if there's like a blizzard with like 3 feet of snow, you got to make sure you have everything you need. Same thing if the roads get washed out because of a flash flood or something. So you have to factor all these things in when you're planning a bug out location. It's not always so black and white, and you got to think of all the different threats to you. So I'll show you guys the river and the area where the road got washed out in a second. This is one of the rivers that I told you guys about that got washed out during Hurricane Irene. It washed out a section of the road that I'm on right now, and I'll show you guys that in a second. But basically the water levels were like really high here, maybe like 20 feet high, and it just washed out the whole section of the road. So, but it's always good to have a water source close to where your bug out area is, but you definitely don't want to be located close to a river like this, because once that river swells up, and you have a home near there, or you have a road that you need access to get out, you're gonna be cut off, if the road washes out. So just wanted to show you guys that. Beautiful river here, guys. Popular fishing stream. Crystal clear water coming right out of the mountains. It's one of the beautiful areas here in the Catskills. It's a big cliff over here, guys. Big rock wall. There's a little cave up there on the top. Alright guys, so this is the area where the road got washed away, and so during Hurricane Irene, because this road has like a big turn, and there's the river has a sharp bend in it. You can see how the road was, you see all this fresh concrete here? This whole section of the road was totally impassable, washed away by the river. And the water was much higher than where it is now. And if you pan over, babe, over there, you see that area there where there's like, it looks like fresh grass over there. So the water level was so high that it went into the forest over there, and they had to redo that grass over there on the other side. You can see it's like a fresh grass, and it's very nicely planted. All right, but the water came in and it washed this whole road away. Okay, this was shut down for like a few months, but you can see how beautiful it is here. Beautiful crystal clear water there. But I wanted to just show you guys that. So this is something to consider when you guys are buying some property for bugging out. Wanted to show you guys this beautiful river here again, and the area that got washed out over there. You could see where they planted that fresh grass, and you can see the silty ground over here. Okay, this is the turn in the road here that washed out. Okay, when the hurricane came and the water level rose, the whole roadway just got washed out here. So this is all fresh road. Okay, you can see the concrete right there, but it's just a very steep area here. It's in the middle of a ravine, very steep terrain, and it's just a beautiful area. So I wanted to just show you guys that real quick. Okay, so nice little lazy river here. There's that fresh grass that they put over there and straightened out. They graded it out, but you can see how beautiful the water is here. It's crystal clear. And there's another little waterfall over here, but it's absolutely beautiful here, guys. It's amazing the power of water, how powerful water is. But you can see how clear the water is here in the Catskills. You can see right down to the bottom. It's crystal clear. Beautiful. I love it here. See the power of Mother Nature. The power of water is incredible. And again, if this was after a rainstorm, this river would be swollen and it would be a lot higher than it is right now. So you can see they put all these boulders on the side to reinforce the concrete wall to break some of the erosion down. They put all these boulders here along the side, which weren't there before, okay, to help, you know, minimize the erosion. All right. So some of the beautiful forests over here with a lot of hemlocks. There's some steep terrain in this area, okay. You can see this looks like limestone or granite, I can't tell. A lot of spruce trees up here. Bigfoot country, guys. This is Bigfoot country. And there's a little waterfall. And guys got to get out there, you know. Got to get out of your house, you know. Enjoy the free time that you have before you have to go back to work. That's all I got to say, guys. All right, enjoy the free time. You know, take advantage of it. All right. The beauty of God's creation, guys. That big mountain, guys. We are in the heart of the Catskills now. That's over 4,000 foot mountain right there. You can see the spruces on the top of it. This is the heart of the Catskills, guys. The mountains here in the Catskills are usually around 3,000 to 4,000 feet. And there's a few peaks that are over 4,000, and that's one of them straight ahead. You can see how high it is. So just wanted to show you guys that. Some more mountains up there, but very steep terrain up here, guys. Very good bug out area. Wanted to just show you the scenery. And you know, take advantage of the summertime to prepare yourselves, guys. Get ready for the second wave. It's coming. You know, now's a good time to scout out bug out areas if you don't have an area to bug out. So this way, when there's a lockdown again, you can have a place to go. You know, areas like this are a good option if you want to scout areas like this out and find areas where you can bug out to. You know, if you have wilderness areas or If you want to find like a cabin that you can rent, or state wilderness properties where you can park your car and set up like a little camp, or if you have an RV or something like that. What's going on, guys? Just wanted to show you this big hickory here. A lot of you guys out west or in the south, if you don't know what a hickory tree is, this is a hickory tree. It's got this shaggy bark. As you can see, the bark can peel off. It's a very popular wood to make broom handles from, hickory. It's a very tough wood, okay? It's not very hard, but it's very tough. So it's like, if you try to split this wood, when I used to sell firewood, I would cut a lot of hickory and I would have to split it. A lot of times I would split by hand because splitting by hand is faster than using a machine. And when you try to split this wood by hand, it's very it's almost like a rubbery type. It holds together very well. It doesn't split evenly like oak. Oak is really easy to split, believe it or not, even though oak is extremely hard. But the grain on the oak is very straight. So when you hit it with your maul, it splits very easily. But with these hickories, they're much more difficult to split. They're very pain in the butt. But wanted to just show you this beautiful hickory here, guys. It's beautiful. And some of these hemlocks and birch trees in this area here. Alright, guys, gonna do a quick hike now. And this area, there's a lot of bears here. And one time I was actually scouting out some hunting areas here for deer and bear hunting, and I found a big bear den right in this area here in these woods. It was like I don't know if it was a den or if it was just an area where the bears were coming to poop, but I mean, there was a whole like area where there was a bunch of bear poop all over the place, and the poop was huge. It was like the size of a horse poop, so it had to be a huge bear that was in the area. So this is actually like a trail. I mean, if you had a four-wheeler, you could go down here, but you could see it's not maintained. Definitely want to carry protection with you when you're in these kinds of areas far away. Probably about 20 miles away from a main road, and there's no cell phone signal here. But right down in there, that's where I saw the bear den. So we'll see if maybe we run into a bear now. I got my 44 Magnum on me, and I'll show you guys how I'm carrying that in a sec. But I got my 44 Magnum with my bear loads, my Underwood 305 grain bear loads. You could see a lot of the trees here. There's a lot of beech trees. The beech trees are these smooth trees here with the smooth bark. Bears really love those trees because what they do is they climb up to the top, and there's nuts in the trees, and they eat those nuts in later on in the summer. They climb up to the top, and you can actually see where the bears are because they climb up the tree and they scratch the tree. And because these beech trees have a very soft bark, they leave scratch marks on them. All right. So this is an area that's good for bears because of the beech trees, and there's also a lot of acorns here, a lot of oaks. So the bears really like that. They also like secluded areas away from people. So stay with me, guys, and come along for the hike, and we'll see if we see any bears. It will be pretty fun to run into one. I've actually had some pretty close encounters with bears before. The closest encounter I had was about 20 yards away, and it was a pretty big bear. It was about 400 pounds. I was in an area close to here where I'm filming, and the bear was up in a tree. It was in the middle of summer, so I couldn't see anything around me. Like right now, we're already in the end of April, but it's still, you can see there's no signs of any blooming here. Everything is gray. So if there's a bear, it'll stand out, and you'll see that big black mass in the woods, because you have good visibility all around. But in the summertime, when there's vegetation, you know, it's hard to see. You know, in the summertime, the vegetation, you know, fills in, and you have no visibility anywhere. So, you know, there could be a bear 20 yards away, and you wouldn't even know it. You know, so, you know, but look at this nice cherry tree here. Cherry trees are really nice. When they burn, they smell really nice. Very good burning wood for fires, firewood. But you know, the bears in the summertime, it's hard to see them because everything is green, and you can walk up on one easily without even knowing it. So you always got to be ready. You got to be vigilant, especially on a windy day. That particular day when I ran into that bear, it was very windy outside. It was probably like, August, so it was end of summer, and that's a time when bears are really starting to pick up their feeding habits, and they're getting ready for hibernation, so they're really feeding more aggressively, and they're trying to fatten up for the winter. All right, so you know, they're really active at the end of summertime. They're hitting the blueberries, and they're hitting the beech nuts and the oaks and everything. They're looking for acorns. Look at this big, beautiful birch tree here. You can use that birch bark to start a fire. You can see this birch bark here. You can peel that off and use that for tinder, okay? You know, so it was a very windy day, and somewhere down there in that brush is where I saw the bear den, where I saw the poop everywhere. And it was obvious, you know, signs of the bear in that area. It was a couple years ago. I don't know if it's still here, but it had to be a massive bear because the poop was like huge, you know, the size of like a horse poop. So it was a windy day when I saw that bear 20 yards away from me when I jumped it. And it was huge. It was like a 400-pound bear. And it was windy, so, you know, you couldn't really hear anything. So the bear couldn't hear me, and I couldn't hear it. So we kind of surprised each other. And also the green, everything was green. And it was a very dense foliage area. There was a lot of white pines and spruces. So the visibility was not greater than like, you know, 20 yards, if that. Okay, maybe even 15 yards, all right? And situations like that can get very dangerous, you know? You want to have your firearm at the ready in case the bear turns around and charges you really quickly. You got to be able to draw your weapon out and get your sights on target, you know? If a bear is charging you, you want to aim for the shoulder. You don't want to aim for the head. You don't want to aim for the heart. You know, you don't want to try to overthink it. You just want to align your sights right onto the shoulder. And the reason why you aim for the shoulder as your first shot is because you'll immobilize the bear. All right, so if it's charging you and you shoot the shoulder, it'll immobilize the bear, just in case you don't hit the heart or the lungs and you can't, you know, get a good vital shot on it. If you hit the shoulder, it'll immobilize the bear and it won't be able to charge you anymore, and then you could finish it off with a shot to the vitals. So you always aim for the shoulder. If the bear is charging you head on, face to face, you want to aim right for its shoulder, right underneath the head, you know, the shoulder. That's where you want to go. All right, that's where you want to put your bullet, in that area. Okay, this way you'll collapse the bear. And you know, shooting a bear is not something that I want to do. I love animals, even though I'm a hunter. I don't hunt bears, believe it or not. I only hunt deer. I leave the bears alone. I think they're cool animals, and you know, I try not to kill animals that I don't intend on, you know, eating, or if I really don't have to. And there's so many deer, so I figure hunting deer is not a big deal. But bears, for some reason, I can't hunt them, you know, unless the bear was charging me and I had to shoot it, I would. Or you know, if there was like a really big bear somewhere and it was a problem bear and it was a real challenge, I would probably go after it. But, you know, just to shoot a bear, for shits and giggles is not really something I'm into. Plus you got to drag it out of the woods, you know, and it's hard enough to drag a deer out of the woods, you know. Imagine a 400-pound bear, you got to quarter it up. It's a lot of work. So, you know, but when you're in a dense vegetation area, you know, you want to always be alert. You want to have your weapon ready to draw, okay, whether it's a rifle or a pistol. You want to have iron sights, you know, and be ready to, you know, pull that trigger and, you know, just be ready to react quickly, because bears can come out of nowhere. They're very quiet. You know, when they walk, they have pads on their feet, so it's hard to hear them. And you know, they can really sneak up on you quick. I had that happen to a lot of people, you know, including my dad. My dad had a huge bear sneak up on him last hunting season, actually. He was sitting behind a tree, and out of nowhere a bear came out and it started charging towards him. And I think because he was camouflaged and wearing camo and he was sitting against a tree, the bear couldn't make out where he was. So the bear basically ran in his direction, and it stopped like 10 feet away from him, and it was just looking around. It probably smelled my dad, but it couldn't see where he was, because bears don't have the best vision. And especially when my dad was camouflaged and, you know, sitting up against a tree, so there was no silhouette for the bear to make out. And so, you know, and it could have been bad for my dad, you know, because that particular day he wasn't carrying a sidearm. He just had his hunting rifle, and the hunting rifle was actually next to him. It wasn't on his lap, and the safety was not off. So if the bear really charged him, you know, it could have been a bad situation. Look at these little cabbages starting to sprout up. So, you know, always have your weapon ready, okay? Be alert, pay attention to your surroundings, especially now, like it's kind of getting dark. I don't recommend hiking in a dusk situation, especially in an area where you know there's bears. I definitely don't recommend that. You know, but you know, I know how bears behave. I've seen them a lot in person, so I'm not really concerned about it. But so yeah, just wanted to share that information with you guys. You know, have your weapon ready. If you have a weapon and you have a license to carry it, you know, when it comes to selecting bear ammo, bear defense ammo, you want to have something with a flat front on the bullet. You know, like a hard cast lead is the best choice. Hard cast lead with a nice flat front, so it smashes through the animal like a sledgehammer, and it just, you know, punches through. The reason why you want hard cast lead is because you want to penetrate deep into the bear. You don't want to have a hollow point. A hollow point will not work against a bear, because bears are so dense. You know, they have a lot of muscle, and especially in the fall time, they're fattening up for the winter, so they have a lot of fat, and you know, their bones are very heavy. So if you use a hollow point, it's not going to penetrate and get into the vitals. So you want something like a hard cast or some type of a solid, copper solid or hard cast lead. You know, this way you can penetrate into the vital area, okay? So that's the bullet selection that you want. All right, guys, it's getting dark now. I'm heading out. We heard some coyotes actually earlier. I think there's a deer over there. Oh, yep, there's a deer. You see it? Just ran away. I flashed it. So we're heading out now. We heard some coyotes. It was pretty interesting. So I'll see you guys around. See you on the next video. Take care. God bless. And don't forget the 3 Ps. Prepare, practice, and persevere.